diamonds are forever.
Did you know that in just a few short years, lab-grown diamond prices have collapsed by more than 70%? If you try to sell or trade in your lab-grown diamond, many ring shops will simply refuse to take it.
The synthetic diamond has no value.
Okay, well, thank you.
No, we do not.
Well, we don't have a license to buy from the public.
So you guys don't buy any from... Okay. In fact, it's one of the most dramatic downturns in the luxury industry, sparked not by war or scandal or regulation, but by shifting behavior from an unlikely group, Chinese consumers.
Diamonds have become very popular to Chinese people. In the past 5 years, diamond sales in the country have tripled to $22.8 billion.
This is a story of too much hype, too much supply, and too little demand. But more importantly, it's a story about how powerful consumers in one country can reshape an entire global industry. So to really understand this video, we really have to get a good understanding of what lab-grown diamonds actually are. Lab-grown diamonds are chemically and visually identical to mined diamonds. They're made in labs using either high pressure, high temperature, or chemical vapor deposition. And here's their kicker: they cost a fraction of the price of mined diamonds. And what used to cost you $1,000 for a 1-carat mined diamond could be purchased for under $100 as lab-grown. That affordability, combined with ethical selling points such as no blood diamonds, less environmental impact, made lab-grown diamonds incredibly appealing to the modern buyer. This is especially true for millennials as well as Gen Zs. From 2018 to 2022, lab-grown diamonds surged in popularity. Major jewelry brands such as Pandora started offering them, and even De Beer, the king of mined diamonds, launched a lab-grown line called Lightbox in 2018. By 2023, lab-grown diamonds made up 10% of all diamond jewelry sales globally. But just as the market was booming, it all came crashing down. As demand soared, so did supply. China became the largest producer of lab-grown diamonds, accounting for about half the global supply. Factories in Henan province alone produce 1 million carats annually, flooding the market. At the same time, India cutting hubs ramped up production to keep pace with demand from US as well as Chinese buyers. You can even purchase your own diamond making machine from sites like Alibaba for roughly $200,000, and many did. But here's where things went wrong. Demand couldn't keep up. Inventory started piling up, and the global polished diamond inventory ballooned to $20 billion by the late 2023, and that's the highest in 5 years. As a result, prices started to fall fast.
Lab-grown rough diamonds have dropped by 85%, and the retail price of loose diamonds has fallen by 80%. I opened my jewelry box and my heart sank.
A 1-carat lab-grown diamond that was sold for over $3,000 in 2022 could now be found for under $900 by the late 2024, and wholesale prices for lab-grown diamonds dropped below $80 per carat, down from over $300 just 2 years prior. In other words, synthetic diamonds that once cost 90% of a natural diamond now cost as little as 10 to 15% of the natural price. A highest quality 2-carat lab-grown diamond now retails for just 10% of a natural diamond, according to the De Beers Group lab-grown division CEO. Industry insiders even call it a bloodbath. The Chinese demand collapsed for years. China had been one of the biggest growth markets for diamond jewelry. But starting in 2021, things changed, and fast. Marriage rates in China hit record lows. In 2013, roughly 13 million couples tied the knot. By 2022, that number has fallen to just 6.8 million, cut basically in half. And fewer weddings means fewer engagement rings. At the same time, China's economy was not doing well. Youth unemployment soared, and the real estate crisis erased household wealth, and consumer confidence plummeted. Diamond sales in China dropped by 40 to 50% in just 2 years. Even Indian exporters who rely heavily on Chinese buyers reported a massive fall in orders. Factories slowed production, inventory sat unsold, and prices kept falling. And this wasn't just a minor blip. It was a massive market-moving collapse in demand from the world's second largest economy. In short, supply overshot demand by a wide margin, creating a downward spiral in price. But this story isn't just about economics, it's also about culture. For many young Chinese consumers, diamonds simply lost their appeal. First, there's a growing popularity of gold. In Chinese tradition, gold has always symbolized wealth, luck, and stability. And with prices rising and economic times uncertain, gold felt like a safer, smarter choice. Gold jewelry sales in China surged, while diamonds faltered.
The price of gold has broken record after record this year.
Second, diamonds, especially expensive natural ones, started being seen as an IQ tax, meaning a unnecessary expense paid only by the gullible. This slang, popular on Chinese social media, implies that spending a large amount on mined diamonds, while an equally indistinguishable lab-grown version or other gifts are available, is not really the smartest financial move. That's right, on Chinese social media, some users started calling mined diamonds a waste of money. Why spend thousands on something that can be purchased at a fraction of the price, or basically buying lab-grown diamonds? And third, younger generations are increasingly more aware of old marketing slogans like diamonds are forever. They care more about the value, ethics, and personalization than tradition or prestige. So instead of splurging on diamonds for proposal, they're buying gold or lab-grown diamonds, or even skipping the ring altogether. Now, you might be thinking, if lab-grown diamonds are so much cheaper and better for the environment, shouldn't they have saved the diamond market in China? And they did, sort of. Chinese Gen Z as well as millennials are open to lab-grown diamonds more than their parents. On apps like Xiaohongshu, you see tons of posts praising lab-grown gems as smart as well as stylish. But the two big problems remain. Even lab-grown diamonds couldn't overcome the drop in marriage rates. There are simply fewer occasions to buy rings in the first place. And number two, lab-grown supply kept rising, especially in China itself. This meant that even in the domestic market, it was flooded with inventory. So while lab-grown diamonds gained market share, they didn't really make up for the massive drop in total demand. Chinese-produced lab-grown diamonds flooded the supply side, and China demand also dropped significantly. The result? Oversupply, price collapse, and a shakeup across the industry. And as you can see here, the price of lab-grown diamonds and mined diamonds split into two different charts. The lab-grown hit much harder by the increased supply from Chinese as well as Indian manufacturers. The crash in the diamond price didn't just hurt sellers of lab-grown gems, it really affected the whole industry. De Beers, once the most powerful diamond seller in the world, had to slash prices and cut production by 20%. Major lab-grown producers filed for bankruptcy. In India, thousands of diamond workers faced layoffs as orders vanished. And even in China, where producers had once enjoyed explosive growth, factories began slowing down output to avoid selling at a loss. And if you try to sell lab-grown diamonds to many ring shops, they will simply refuse to take them due to fears of additional price drops. And consumers benefited, sure, and you can get a 2-carat lab-grown diamond for what a 0.5-carat natural stone used to cost. But the industry is reeling. Some industry insiders believe that we're entering a new normal, one where lab-grown diamonds are seen as a fashion item and not an investment. This means that price stays low, but demand stabilizes as more consumers accept lab-grown as everyday luxury. De Beers is leaning into the idea as well. Its Lightbox brand is now selling lab-grown diamonds for just $500 per carat. Retailers are also adjusting too, selling smaller natural diamonds for traditional buyers and bigger lab-grown ones for trendier, value-conscious shoppers. In China, the future remains uncertain. Will young consumers come back to diamonds once the economy recovers? Will gold continue to dominate, or will a new trend take over entirely? One thing is clear. You can say that the crash of the lab-grown diamond market isn't just about price or technology. It's really about people, culture, demographic, economics, and no group shaped that story more than Chinese consumers. Their changing values, more practical, less traditional, collided with the global diamond boom and brought the market back to earth. The diamond industry may not yet rebound, but the rules have changed, because forever might not be as long as we thought. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like as well as subscribe. And if you want more videos about culture, economics, and something that we all love, and in this case diamonds, make sure to subscribe for more content.